We've got a revealing new look at one of the most famous mothers in the world. We're talking about Tina Knowles. She is a powerhouse. She's a businesswoman. She's a fashion designer. And oh yeah, she's former stylist for Destiny's Child. But she is best known as mom, and she likes that best of all to global music superstars. That would be Beyonce and Solange. Now she's telling the story of her life and her upbringing in a new memoir. It's called Matriarch. We spoke with her recently at her home in Los Angeles, and she talked about the childhood experiences that shaped her approach to motherhood. You were known as Badass Teeny B.
But that was not a good thing then.
It wasn't?
No. Adults they were always like, oh, that little girl, she just got a mouth on her, a little badass Teeny B. So it wasn't good then, but now it's a badge of honor for me. And it protected me. It really protected me through, the worst times of my life. I realized that.
Tina Knowles was born Celestine Ann Beyonce. Today, she's widely known as a superstar mom. But in her new memoir, she reveals a complicated yet loving relationship with her own mother, who she describes as overprotective and fearful.
How did that influence the mother you said, I want to be? When you said, I'm going to get this right.
Right.
What did that mean to you in terms of being a mother?
That meant I was going to trust my kids. And even though I never believed in being friends, I'm not your little friend, as they say, but I wanted to be trusted by them and for them to know that I trusted them and that I thought that the sky was the limit, because my parents put limitations on me, not because they wanted to, because they didn't want me to be disappointed or hurt. So I was never told the sky is the limit.
And you told your girls
But I told my girls that all the time. You could be whatever you want to be. You could do whatever you want to do. And I'm going to be right there to help make it happen.
One of those times was when a teacher recommended that Beyonce repeat a grade in school.
At a very young age, you always said that Beyonce was super shy. Was very shy and very quiet. So much so at school that they told you, we think she's slow.
Right.
How did you receive that? I'm thinking, and where is that teacher today? But
Well,
go ahead.
She was shy around other people, but never shy around us. At home, she was entertaining, she was singing, she was dancing, and she was doing all the things that I did. But when she got around strangers, she was shy. So she would get quiet until she got to know you. And once she got to know you, it would be like, Miss Gayle, can you watch my show? Can you watch me? That kind of thing.
Because then you took her to another teacher who said, there's nothing wrong with this girl.
I took her to Miss Little, was an ex-teacher there who was very stern, but she said, there's nothing wrong with this girl. This girl is very bright. She just doesn't care to let you know it.
And then Solange is born. And you noticed a difference between the two, because Solange was always, you said, very chatty, very outgoing.
Yes, very outgoing, and would walk into the room and be like, yes, I'm here.
But it seems to me you were ahead of the curve when it came to talking about mental health. Because I think Beyonce was 12, Solange was 7. You decided to put them both in therapy together. Why?
Because Beyonce was
back
like,
then nobody did that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, my family was upset, and even Matthew was not happy. He was like, I don't want any parts of that.
Why did you want them to go?
Because Beyonce had become like this little star in the town, and she was always so close to Solange and so kind to her, but then she was in the singing group. So everything took place at our house. So the other girls in the group would tell Solange to shut up and be quiet and all that. And I started noticing that she wasn't protecting her sister. And I got a thing about that. And I was like, that's your sister. You don't let people talk to your sister like that. She was like, yeah, but she comes in and busts in and she wants to boss us around and do steps. And so I just started seeing this, separation. And I said, oh no, y'all are going to grow up close if I have to, whatever I have to do to make that happen.
She also writes candidly about the highs and lows of her 30-year marriage to Matthew Knowles.
From the very beginning, he was not faithful in the marriage, and you said, I need to do something. I need to make preparations.
Yes.
Tell us about your thinking back then.
Well, just because I was pregnant, they just got really bad at that time. I knew that I had to make a move, and I didn't want to be dependent on him, and so I started planning how I would get out of it. And
You
I
called
knew
it
that
your escape plan.
It was
Tina.
my escape plan.
She opened a hair salon named Headliners, which was so successful it became the family's main income and helped fund Beyonce's budding music career. Matthew left his job as a sales executive at Xerox and started working as Destiny's Child's manager full-time. Their partnership as parents helped hold the marriage together.
That's the deal with that relationship. People say to me, how did you stay so long? And I'm like, well, I was married for 33 years, but 33 years were not bad. You know, maybe 15 of them were bad. But we would have these long stretches where we would do really great together.
Also, there are things that only the two of you know.
That's right.
There are things
that I can't share with you.
Yeah, there are things that only the two of
That's
you
right.
know. So I actually understand that.
Yeah.
When she finally decided to get divorced, she spent a week in bed depressed. Her longtime therapist gave her an exercise. Make a list of your accomplishments and failures.
I had such an easy time writing all the bad stuff. When I got to the positive stuff, I had such a hard time. And what I realized about myself is that I wasn't really comfortable with people telling me great things about me. And that I hadn't taken credit for so much stuff that I had done with Destiny's Child and in life, that I was always like, be humble. It's not about you. Well, some things have to be about you. So when I started making that list, I started getting mad and writing those things down.
Like what? Like what?
Like, you created some beautiful things.
You started your own salon. That
Right,
was a
I started my
success.
salon. It was a success. You know, I raised some great kids. All the people I've met in my life, like, I have had a hell of a life. I would want to be my friend, and I would want to date me. You know, because on the other page, I was like, I don't feel attractive. I don't. On this side, I said, you know, you're all right. You can get it together. I started saying, damn, you a bad girl. And I would
Badass
date you.
Teeny is back.
Badass TDB is back.
Yes. And a lot of people want to be her friend. Stay with us for more of our conversation with Tina Knowles, where she's candid about what will make her curse you out.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right, Nate. We'll be right back.